to sit in silence just because. December 6, 2013. Do you remember, dear ones, of the days long before there were cellular phones and high-tech devices to distract your ability to hear the gentle lull of nature? Long before the explosion of technical advancement, there existed a time where divine silence covered the earth from one corner to the other, where peace and quiet wasn't difficult to find. Now, with all the hustle and bustle of advancement, finding that blanket of peace becomes an ever-increasing challenge. When peace is finally found, what is often met as well as the feeling of all your wishes and prayers that concern the future of not just of your own life, but for the life of every person that share your earth will come true. Coming to this place of deep and respected silence, there is so much inner growth going on. It's important, dear ones, to tune into this silence, into the peace that is coming from within, and to communicate with your whole self through subtle energy. You already know, dear ones, how connected you are with God, through the precious heart that beats in your chest and with the living and breathing earth that thrives beneath your feet. Changes will always come to you. It is up to you to make the most of every opportunity for the greatest of good for all. Even within all the noise your advanced era has wrought, it is just as important now as it was before all the advancement, to find a place where you can focus your attention to God, to your Earth Mother, and to the world of spirit, while discovering ways that are effective to your ability to relate to others, regardless if they are your neighbor or someone who lives across the world. What a challenge your new and exciting world poses when you are trying to make a divine and sacred connection to God. It's enough to learn how to quiet the mind, but even more of a challenge to drown out the noise of the outside world with your silence. But nothing is impossible, dear ones, when you want to accomplish something bad enough that is important to you. The incessant chatter of what each person is doing has replaced the cheerful gurgle of a stream or to the whistling leaves of a willow tree. Now what is more often listened to is the noise of a busy office, a loud-filled classroom of excited children, gossip, or video games that distract a wide range of ages from the serenity of nature and of the calm that she comes with. One of the things we have witnessed, dear ones, with the advancement of all your technical devices, there has been an increased fear for those of the modern era of being alone, because they have become accustomed of knowing everything about everyone at the push of a button. For the many dear souls that are just entering this advanced era of information and technology, they have a much more difficult time communicating with their inner self and with God. It requires greater discipline now to turn off the phones, the games and other high-tech gadgets, and to push away outside distraction to give your pure and full focus and attention to your spiritual and personal growth and development. Silence is essential, dear ones. Through the comfort of silence you are able to enhance your own individual consciousness and awareness in order to re-nourish your whole self from the source of your divine creation. Know, dear ones, God is the source of the nourishment for your whole self to revive and replenish the peace and calm from within, so you may share this rebalanced and loving nature of your being with others. Understand, dear ones, without silence, it becomes difficult to hear what God is saying, to His divine guidance and direction, because there are too many distractions demanding your attention. Choosing to ignore silence seems to have become an epidemic for some dear souls, as they are enraptured by the explosion of information and technology, and they become prideful for becoming so busy to take the time to smell the roses or to sit under a tree in silence just because. Silence is essential, dear ones, for your inner accomplishments to thrive that cannot be met from outside influences or distractions. You cannot build your inner self without silence. Understand the depth of your soul, and what is brought forth from the silent moments you enter brings you closer to understanding the purpose of your life, and this silence, for however long you enter its comforting realm, pulls you away from the clinging clutches of the distractions of the outer world, where you can rest in the peace and calm your heart and soul has been yearning for. We know you can't always be in silence. We understand many of you work, go to school, or you are at home running a business or looking after children. Yet with discipline, you can easily add a time in your busy week for silence. Make room at least once a week for yourself to flow through the comforting and peaceful energy that silence brings, which allows your soul to exhale through the comfort your heart is also experiencing during this quiet moment with your inner self. As you allow yourself a weekly quiet time with your whole self, you are giving yourself a great gift of healing, liberation and renewed exuberance for life and to the challenges you have just taken a break from. Think of silence as the language of your soul. Through the silent moments you give yourself, you are allowing yourself to be guided through God's loving energy to new directions in your outside activities where they may be enhanced through new creative ways and methods. Coming home to your silence will deepen the meaning and purpose of your life, dear ones. Without silence, dear ones, it is not possible to evolve into higher states of consciousness and awareness. The development of your journey, both personal and spiritual, requires you to become more aware of your own selves as a contributing member of society as a whole. Through silence, dear ones, you learn who you really truly are, what is authentic and real, and you learn to let go what you imagined yourself to be. Instilling a special time of silence into the universe of your life is crucial to the healthy growth and development of your whole self. Just like food is required for your body, silence is needed for your soul. You soon come to realize the importance of having a healthy personal life is just as important to having a healthy spiritual life, as you recognize your connection with God and with all the divine gifts He has bestowed upon you as a way to express His love through your actions, words, thoughts, feelings and will. Life will continue to be lived in frivolously until each dear soul learns to consider themselves worthy enough to have the sanctuary of peace that's found within the element of silence that will permeate every corner of their lives. No, dear ones, the more often you frequent the precious and sacred silence of your inner self, the closer you are with God and His mighty presence. Remember, silence is the path for the growth of your spiritual journey that will bring positive changes to your personal life. Your quiet time in silence can be found through deep contemplation, meditation, simply sitting in a quiet spot, or watching the sky turn from day to night. The places and ways of where silence can be found is endless. What is important, dear ones, is that you discover which method of silence is best for you to reconnect with your inner self and with source of light energy of your being. You are restoring your balance, peace and calm to your whole being every time you choose to be silent and listen to what is found only from within. Remember, dear ones, to restore the balance, peace and how life is meant for you to live will always be found through the time you put aside to be in silence. I am Ascended Master, Serapis Bey, through Julie Miller. spiritualnetworks.com